welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay and this is Waldorf Inspired Roots. This week will be our first week of summer camp, so I thought it'd be fun to share some of the activities that we have planned. We will have 4 different themes throughout the summer. So this video will be the first in a 4-part series that will share those themes with you as we go. Our first theme will be camping out, which will begin this week. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I would love to hear questions and feedback in the comment section below. I am really excited for preschool summer camp to begin this week. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am a mother of 2 boys ages 15 and 2.5. I also have several preschool age kids who come here that I teach. We are a Waldorf inspired family, but we also draw some inspiration from the Montessori philosophy. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Waldorf philosophy, it is a learning process that is essentially threefold, engaging the head, the heart, and the hands, or thinking, feeling, doing. It integrates academics, the arts, and practical life skills. Typically though, academics are postponed until a child gets closer to their 7th birthday. So in preschool and kindergarten, the focus is more on practical skills, the arts, and learning through play and exploring nature. Even though I like this philosophy for my own kids, the preschool kids that I teach will go to public school when they're ready. So I'm doing a bit of a hybrid program here. The parents of the kids at the preschool want to make sure that their kids are ready for kindergarten, and our local school district has a kindergarten readiness checklist that we integrate into our program. So we mostly follow the Waldorf philosophy with some integration of academics for the kids who, are going to be going to kindergarten in the fall. With that being said, we do try to keep the academics fun and to learn those academics through play. That way we can help to strengthen the literacy and math skills that kids going into a public school kindergarten need to know, or need to at least be introduced to prior to going. But it's not too rigorous for like my 2.5-year-old who I plan to homeschool forever, and we do want to follow more of that Waldorf philosophy. So it allows me to kind of have the best of both worlds, where whatever my 2.5-year-old picks up and learns along the way is fine, because we did it through play. It's not rigorous. We're not sitting down and mandating that they do worksheets or anything like that. We're still keeping the academics through play and in a fun way. One of my favorite websites that I have found that has some really great early childhood material that we've used periodically throughout the year, and we will be using for all 4 of our summer camp programs, is from a website called Planning Playtime. Now, this video is not sponsored, and I did purchase the themed units from their website. And so I will start out this video by sharing, the things that are, from there. But then I also have other things that I'll be including into our themed unit as well. So I first wanted to share a printable that I made just on pages actually on my phone, which is kind of like Word. So I just created a chart, and it just says theme, date, and we are only going to be doing summer camp on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And each of the units for this summer's summer camp programs will be 2 weeks long. We will also have 1 week of 4th of July theme, and then I have a vacation that we're going on. My family are going on a road trip to Texas this summer, so we'll have off for that. But like I said, our first theme is camping out, and so We have, the 3 days, and then for the second week, we have the 3 days. And in each day, I'm trying to make sure that we do something in literacy, something for math, and then something either sensory or craft art, in that realm. So I just put each of the 3 things that we're going to be doing. And then at the bottom of my sheet, I write any materials that I don't already have that I need to pick up. And then I stack everything in order with, the things that we're going to do. So I'm going to show you, like for June 1st, which is Tuesday, we will be doing pine tree counting puzzles, letter matching s'mores, camping, cut and paste. And so then I would look in my pile and I do try to put them in order. So that just kind of helps you to figure out like how I organize this. So when you go to planning playtime, all of their themed units are, I believe, like $10 and under. I can't remember any of them being greater than that. I think most of them are like $8. There might be a couple of their really big units that might be slightly higher, but I think they're all under $10. So the first thing, when you click on it, you can preview almost everything. It has almost everything that is in the unit, so you know exactly what you're getting. And then it comes in a PDF, and so as soon as you purchase it, you could pay through, I think, PayPal or right from their site. And I think you can actually find this on Teachers Pay Teachers as well. And so when you download the PDF, you print everything, and then you can laminate. We've done it both ways, where I've laminated things that I know I'm going to want to use again in the future. And then things that I am only planning to use maybe 1 or 2 times throughout a unit, then I may not laminate. Laminating definitely allows you to be able to keep it for, forever or for a really long time. In this unit in particular, I didn't go ahead and laminate anything, I don't think, really. And then sometimes I alter the way that we use them, but these give such great printables and examples. So I'm going to go through, this is the preschool camping theme, but they have preschool up through 1st grade. So it encompasses a great deal of early childhood. So, ages 3 until 1st grade for sure. But again, my son is only 2.5 and we've been using this and he loves it. So, periodically throughout the year. So the next thing you're going to get after the, cover page, it'll have, printables of different activities, and it'll tell you, what it is, the prep, and what the activity is and how to do the activity. So from the first day, I don't know if you had seen, we're doing pine tree counting puzzles. That was one of the things. Well, that is actually right here, pine tree counting puzzles. So the prep is to print, cut, and laminate the pine tree cards, which I did all of that except for the laminating part. And the activity is use cutouts to match the tally marks and dots to the correct number. So as you can see, I already went ahead and printed it out, and it's got all the little pieces, and I did go ahead and cut apart the trees. So it's a puzzle, and I will go ahead and show you what that looks like. So the top of the puzzle is going to have the number. So we've got the number 1, the number 3, I believe it's all the numbers up to maybe 10, I believe. And then you have the next section will have, a tally mark. So you see that one's got 1 tally mark, the next one has 3 tally marks. And then the bottom part of the tree will have a dot, and so they would count the dots, and they have to match the number to the tally to the dots. And so they're working through math that way. And I do go ahead and put them in Ziploc bags to keep them organized. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that here. Now, there's a whole bunch of things on here for this unit in particular. There's sight word s'mores, letter matching s'mores, sleeping bag matching, numbers and letters tent, so we're 10 frames, camping, cutting practice, camp measuring, camp tent patterns, tent 10 frames, campfire name, shapes campfire, Spin and Stack S'mores, Alphabet Hunt Bag, Marshmallow Counting, and Flashlight Letter Hunt. That is all what came in this themed unit. And so some of those things I'm going to be incorporating into my unit, and some of them we're not. We can't possibly get to everything, especially because it's only a 2-week unit. And I also alter something. So the next thing that I have here that we are going to be doing is letter matching s'mores. So they had a bunch of worksheets, and they had these s'mores and you would match it, but I didn't want to print out a bunch of worksheets. So what I did is I just went ahead and cut construction paper, and I wrote with a Sharpie the capital letters. So I'll just kind of flip through some of those. I wrote the capital letters, and the marshmallows have the lowercase letters, and so each kid will get, you know, a few, and they will match the lowercase to the uppercase. Now the kids who are going to be doing this are the ones who have been working on letters and, you know, literacy and math skills throughout the year, which are the 3 I have going to kindergarten. The other kids, there will be some of these activities that, you know, aren't age appropriate for them, some of the younger ones, and like my 2.5-year-old. So I have other games that they'll be doing and things in our dramatic play area. I did go ahead and pick up some new toys for our dramatic play area that are camping themed, so they'll be fun. And we have, you know, building activities that they can do. So this activity in particular, and the counting one, a lot of these will be more so for the older ones who are going to kindergarten. Now this next one they all will get to do, and they have this, I believe, in every unit. It's cutting, and it has a picture of scissors, and then it has, you know, a little theme picture, which is cute, and then it has, you know, a dotted line for them to try to cut on, and this is for their fine motor development and, you know, muscle strength in their hands. But each line is slightly different, and as you go through, they do get harder and harder. And I don't necessarily, in particular for my 2.5-year-old and the younger ones, I don't regulate how they cut these. The older ones automatically just try to cut on the line, which is how they're intended to be used. But I have found, since this is in most of the cut and paste is in most of their units, I have found that the kids don't like to just cut it and then throw it away. They like to take it home and show their mom. So I did include some of the large, just plain white construction paper. So this then will become a gluing activity, so they can glue all the pieces onto their paper, and then they'll get to take it home. The next activity, this would be for, the next 3 activities will be for Wednesday. But we are going to be doing tent 10 frames. And so I do use the manila folders to hold some of the things, especially if they're not laminated. But the tent 10 frames look like this, and they will, you know, go through the cards. I will shuffle them so that they're not in order, but they'll go through the cards, and whatever card they get, then they have to count bears onto their tent 10 frame. And I already have a bunch of the counting bears. Now, also I should add, for each of these units, they have a page where it will say all of the different supplies that they use in this. Oftentimes, the lady who puts this together, she includes things that are from the Dollar Tree. I noticed that's the theme. A lot of her things come from the Dollar Tree. Either that or they come from Amazon. Now, there aren't typically a lot of things to purchase from this, and a lot of times you can substitute something you may already have for some of the manipulatives that are here. But if you have a young child, preschool, you know, through 1st grade, you may already have some of these things or something that'll work at home. In our preschool, we do have the counting bears. And so this is what, you know, she had said the bears kind of go along with the, you know, the camping theme. And so we'll be using that to count on our 10 frames. The next thing that we are doing is actually something I had not planned to do. It was included in this unit, but one of my kids goes to a private school, and her mother gave me a paper, and on it was a list of sight words that they wanted the kids to be, you know, trying to memorize before kindergarten, which kind of surprised me. Like, what? Memorizing sight words before kindergarten? I thought that's what you did in kindergarten, which I think is part of the reason that I like Waldorf so much, because that just seems like so much pressure to put on these kids. But because of that, for the 3 that are going on to kindergarten, they'll get to play this game. But basically it's just some of the first sight words. And in particular for the one kiddo that I have that their school had sent that home as a request, you know, I want to at least follow that and try to, you know, get her on the path to learning some of these. But yeah, so it's just some of the sight words. Now what we're going to use with those, I have these magnet letters, and you can use any magnet letters. There's even the fridge magnets that are super common, and they're only a couple bucks, and I think you can even get them at the Dollar Tree. I personally have this other set, and it has capital letters and lowercase, and it's got a few of each. And then it's got a few, you know, special characters and question marks and things like that. But I will just pull out the lowercase letters that match, so it matches exactly. You don't want to confuse them, and you know, if the word is for and it's all lowercase on the paper, in this particular game, you wouldn't want to give them capital letters, because then they're trying to figure out the letters on top of matching. So we're going to start this out as a matching game. So they're going to match the letters. We have been working a little bit on letter sounds, so I'll just go, you know, over those with them as we go, and start kind of trying to sound out some of those sight words. The next thing that we're going to do on Wednesday is just a coloring page. I do like to mix up what type of, you know, art or craft that we do. And so I just found this on Google, you know, Google Images, and I went ahead and printed it out. I thought it was cute. But you can do any, you know, coloring page is just one of the days. And I'll usually ask the kids, you know, do you guys want crayons, or do you want markers, or colored pencils? Or sometimes I'll just put an array and let them pick and choose and things, what, you know, medium they want to use for that. Now on Thursday, one of the activities that we're going to be doing is Marshmallow Counting. Now this is going to be a fine motor activity as well. This is in the you know, in the unit through planning playtime, but you're just using cotton balls as pretend for a marshmallow, and there will be some in a bowl, and I'll have a brown piece of paper that will mimic, you know, a graham cracker. I may even glue a darker brown piece of paper to mimic the chocolate, just to make it, you know, cutesy and realistic. I haven't done that yet. But basically they're going to use their tongs, and they're going to pick it up, and they're going to put it on the, you know, the graham cracker to make s'mores, with how many they roll the dice. And I have these really cute dice. I believe they're by Think Fun. I have quite a few, and they come in different colors. It's just a set, but they'll roll the dice, and for the younger ones, they can count up to 6. All of them can, I believe. So, you know, we'll roll, and I'll have them count the dots and then count out their marshmallows. And then for the older ones, they'll roll 2 dice, and all of them can count at least to 20, but this would be up to 12. So they'd be using the one-to-one correspondence and also the fine motor skills with the tongs. But it's a game, so it's fun. The next game that we're going to be doing is called Sleeping Bag Matching. And so I have these sheets, and again, normally I would laminate them, but since we're only using them for 2 weeks, and we're only, I believe everything in here, we're actually only going to do each game once, because it's such a quick, normally my units are 3 to 6 weeks. And so, but for the summer, we wanted to keep it fun and keep it moving and fast paced and just, you know, a lot of fun and get through a lot of different things. So it is quick, so I'm not laminating these, but each kiddo, this one will be mostly for the older kids, but they will get 1 paper at a time, and then they will use the magnet letters again to try to match the uppercase to the lowercase. If they aren't quite ready for that, or depending on the kid, because I have some kids who are pretty much there, and I've got some that need a little more help, and so that we'll gauge where they're at, but they'll either match them or they'll try to match the uppercase to the lowercase. Now the next activity that we're going to do is sort of going to look like this, but it is going to be a hand print campfire. Now I did go ahead and cut out these humongous logs, and so each kid will get 2, and I just cut them out in like a bread loaf looking shape, and I glued them together, and I did the lines to look like the lines in a log, did the swirl just to kind of give it a more realistic appearance. And what we're going to do, I have the big paper, and we are going to put the log down at the bottom after they do the handprints, but they're just going to hand print in orange and yellow and red all over in whatever pattern that they want to, and then we'll put the logs on it, and it'll look similar to this sort of idea, and so that's how we're going to do that project. Now the following week we have some other activities that we're going to do. So next week on Tuesday we are going to do stamp and count marshmallows, and I'm going to use real marshmallows, and it has a number in the top, and they are going to have paint and a marshmallow, and they'll stamp it, and they'll do however many marshmallow stamps for the numbers here. And there's quite a few papers because they'll each get more than one paper, because we have 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9. So they'll do 1 through 9 in total, each kid will. And this is one that all the kids can do, because like I said, most of my younger ones can count at least to 10, and most of my older ones can count at least to 20. The next thing that we're gonna do next week is camp tent patterns. So there's these cards that you print off, and some of them are easy, and then there are some that are harder, but they have to match the popsicle sticks, which I have here. They match the rainbow colored popsicle sticks to the pattern to make different tents. And I will show you a couple other ones. So like I said, there are some that are pretty easy, or they start out easy, and then they do get a little more challenging. And so like that. So that counts as, a math, anything to do with measuring patterns, counting, numbers, things like that are all math. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is actually a game that my kids have played before, and they love it. This is actually from Melissa and Doug, and it is their number fishing game. And so I will take this out and show you, but it comes in this mesh bag, and then it has 2 fishing poles, and the fishing poles have a magnet on the end, and then they do actually go up and down, which the kids are completely obsessed with. And then there's all these little fish. I'll just kind of show you. So there's all these little fish, and they have a number and a color. And so all the number 1s have the number 1 and are the same color. And then we've got some of the I believe there's 2 of each one, because there's 2 players per round, but there's different ones. And then I also like that the number 1s are small, and then as you get up to the bigger sizes, they do progressively get bigger. The other thing that it comes with is a spinner. And so they would spin, and whatever the worm lands on, whatever number and color, they have to try to pick up that color and numbered fish. Now, another thing that we're gonna do next week, I believe this one is on Wednesday, is letter and number tents. So these will be set on the table, sort of like this, to make a tent. And the kids will have to pick out little cards that we have or you can use the magnets, or there's a bunch of different things that you can use. I personally am going to just write numbers and letters on construction paper that I'm going to make look like sleeping bags because I think it'll be cute. But so they'll have to sort out, if it's a number, it would go in the numbers tent. If it's a letter, then it would go in the letters tent. So it's a sorting game. So they don't have to necessarily know what letter it is or what number it is, but sorting it into whether it is a letter or a number specifically. The next activity that we're going to do are letter names. So this is going to be on a piece of construction paper. It'll just be a small construction paper. But there's these little logs that this was included in as one of the activities. But they can color this with markers. And then I've already made one for each kid, but I printed out just these little fire symbols. This one is in the list of activities, but the way that they had it is to have the kids trace their hand on red, orange, and yellow construction paper and then to cut it out. And since we're already doing another cutting activity, I wanted this one to be more of a letter recognition or name recognition activity. And so I decided to go ahead and print out just from a PDF that I found for a flame template on Google Images. I just printed out a whole page of them and I put the letters. This one in particular is for a kid that I have named Gracie. So there's a G and an R, and so it has all the letters of her name. Now with the younger kids, I will help them to know the order and we'll just talk about, oh, that's the letter G, that's the first letter of your name, what comes next? With the older kids, they all know their name. And if they are struggling, I have name tags that I can set in front of them, so it's more of a matching activity. Another activity that we're going to do is camping measure game, and this was in the planning playtime pack as well. So it was just a bunch of these cards that are different camping related things, and they're all different size and different shaped items. So there's all different sizes. What they do is they're going to use the Unifix cubes to measure them. The flashlight is approximately 6 cubes long. And the s'more is approximately 4 cubes long. But you could do this with Duplos. You could get out a ruler if they know their numbers. You could do this with, coins and line them up on the table to see how many pennies long it is. Really any sort of manipulative, you could do this activity. The next activity is similar to the numbers and letters tent, but instead we're doing capital versus lowercase. So we'll again make the tent, and then we will be using our magnet letters to have them sort them into whether it's a capital letter or a lowercase letter. And again, they don't have to tell me specifically what letter it is or anything for this particular game. They're just trying to do the sorting part of it. The next thing that we will have next week are, I'm sure you've seen them, but the teepees that are about 6 feet tall and they open up and they've got the canvas. We have 2 of them and the kids absolutely love playing with them. In fact, I will include a picture of my son in one of the teepee tents here. So that's going to be sort of a dramatic play activity that we're going to have. Another art activity that we're going to do next week, I did go ahead and print out. It is from www.heartartsincrafts.com, and it is a firefly sun catcher, and they do have the template for the 2 wings and the head, and then you use contact paper, and you can use tissue paper or the kite paper, or you could technically even use construction paper, although it's probably going to be too thick to really be able to catch the light or see through, if you hang it in a window. But the whole point of this is to lay down the contact paper and have the kids put all of the tissue paper on the sticky contact paper and then do another piece when they're finished, and then you cut it out and you make the firefly sun catcher. So that's gonna be really cute. The next thing I'm gonna show you, and this is actually the last thing from planning playtime that we are going to be doing. Again, there are quite a few other activities that you could choose from. So I encourage you to go on their website and take a look. And again, they've got so many different themes. I can't even begin to express how many different themed units they have. But at the end of each of their units, they do also have worksheets. Now, typically we're not the biggest fan of worksheets here, but the 3 I have going on to kindergarten have done some, throughout the year. And 2 of them actually asked me for what they said was homework. And so this isn't going to be something that I necessarily send home for them to do, but if they want to, I have, the packet, and this is from Planning Playtime, so I just printed out, the packet, and it has tracing activities and camping, color by number. So it's all fun activities, but they are worksheets, and so this isn't something that I'm going to mandate. You must sit down and complete this, but some of them really like these, and so if they want to do it, they absolutely can. Whatever they don't finish by the end of the unit, then I would send it home, and they can do it at home if they want to. But yeah, so there's color ones, star counting, things like that. And so they each of the kids that are moving on to kindergarten have their own packet that they can choose to complete if they want to. So that is all of the planning playtime stuff that I'm going to share with you today. But I did want to also share some of the books that I picked up for this theme. This one is Brave Little Camper, and this one has a button you can push that has a sound. So that's that. And of course, I'm sure if you have kids, you know that they love these kind of books. So it's just about a camper, and it's his first time camping and all the different things that he hears and sees, and the experience that he has with that. And we have Biscuit Goes Camping, and this is about Biscuit the dog, and this is his first camping trip, and so very cute illustrations. Oh yeah, and then as far as the amount of words, this is I can read, and it's my first reading, so it's very simple, very short, which is good if you've got toddlers who struggle to sit for long books. This is a great one. And then we also have another I can read. This is a level 1, so it's slightly longer than the Biscuit book, still very manageable though. This one is the Berenstain Bears Gone Fishin'. And then we've got 5 Green and Speckled Frogs. Even though this one isn't specifically for camping, it's woodland, and this one is a songbook. I try really hard to include a lot of songbooks. The kids find it a lot of fun when you are singing a book, and when it is in our bookshelf, which is at their level, they're able to pick up this book, and because they're very familiar with the song, then they feel like they're reading the book, and it is a way for them to start kind of recognizing words because they know sort of what the words are. So the next book is The Cat in the Hat. I Love the Nightlife. And so this one is not specifically camping, but it's about all the things that you would see at night. The next book is Curious George Goes Camping. This one is a lot more words. For my particular group, it is very manageable. They'll all sit through it just fine. But if you have a kid who struggles to sit through books, this one might be a little more challenging, but not too bad. The next book is another I can read. It's beginning level 1. It's Pete the Cat Goes Camping. Again, this is a level 1, so it's very, very small amount of words, cute pictures. The next book is The Berenstain Bears Blaze a Trail, and this one, it looks like it's going to be perfect. It's they're some sort of scouts going hiking, and seeing all the things that you would see and having an adventure. And it's very funny. There's a lot of funny parts in this book that give the kids quite a laugh. So the next book is My First I Can Read, and it's Fox at Night. This book is one of the first readers, and so it's only a few words on each page. I do really love the illustrations in this one. They look like they were done with possibly crayon. It actually looks like crayon to me. But the pictures are really cute and, you know, whimsical, not as colorful and vibrant and cartoony or artificial looking. It's more whimsical, which I like having. The next book is My First I Can Read, Exploring the Great Outdoors by Mercer Meyer. It's a little critter book. Not too many words in here, but they go on an adventure similar to the Berenstain Bears book that I showed you a little bit ago. That's some of the illustrations there. Now the last book actually has a funny story to go with it. We were at Barnes & Noble earlier today actually and picked up some of these books. A few of them I already had, but my son loves Mickey Mouse, and though he doesn't watch a ton of TV, Mickey Mouse has been his favorite for quite a while. And he picked up a Mickey Mouse book and handed it to me and, you know, asked if we could buy it. And ironically enough, it was a Mickey Mouse camping book. So I'm like, perfect, we'll get that. So it has this little cute handle, but it's Mickey and Friends, Let's Explore Outdoors. And so they are going on a camping trip, and it has these little tabs that you can pull out to make different things happen. So it puts different things in the window. It also has Lift the Flaps, which offers a ton of entertainment. And then it's got the little ones like that. I think this one comes out, yeah. And then we've got this page, which turns it into a fox. It looks dark because it's dark, and then they shine the flashlight and it lightens it up. And then we've got another Lift the Flap. So very ironic that he handed me a book that happened to be a camping book. Quite perfect, really. Now, some of the other activities that you can do with this unit that we're going to include we have a fire pit in our backyard. If you've seen some of my other videos, you may have noticed it. We will probably light a very small fire, and we have benches, and so the kids will sit on the benches, but we'll have them take turns, and there will be myself and a couple other adults all supervising, but we're gonna let them roast their own marshmallows and make s'mores. So they can have that real experience. And then we're also going to pull the blinds and close all the curtains in our house and let them play with flashlights and do flashlight tag for music and movement. We have the stepping stones you may have seen in my other videos by National Geographic, and so we will probably have some of the play silks out that are blues and greens and make a swamp or a pond and put some of the steps going across it and play a game, you know, with trying to cross the pond or the, you know, swamp without falling in. Yeah, just be creative, letting them play with, you know, different things in, you know, dramatic play. And speaking of that, I have two other things that I do want to show you. And these are both by Melissa and Doug. One of them I actually just picked up today, which is this one. So I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing on here also. Haven't opened it yet. But the other one we've had for a little bit. So I want to show you that one first. These are part of their Let's Explore series, and this one is their hiking backpack. And so it comes with quite a few things. One of the things that came with one of the kids at the preschool actually already broke. But I will show you everything else. So inside the bag, we have a little canteen, and it really does open, and my son actually likes to fill it with water when the preschool kids aren't here, and so we wash it frequently. You could just throw it in the dishwasher on the top shelf. And then another thing is this little compass that actually sort of works. It does work. It's not super accurate, but it also has a pretend little saw, and then it does have a magnifying glass as well. And so that's one of the things. Another thing that it has is a whistle. Not entirely sure if it actually works. It has a hole in the end, so I think it actually may work, but it's a pretend whistle. And then it also has these little paw prints, and on one side they're all the same. And so the kids can use them and set them all along the floor and try to, you know, go on like a bear hunt or an animal hunt of some kind. But on the back side, I think it's awesome because they have, like, this one is a raccoon, here's a fox, and so it shows you what some of the real prints are. This one is an eagle, this one's a deer, coyote, and a bear. And so I thought that was really fun. Now, a couple of the other things that it also has are the Let's Explore Trail Guide and Hiking Log. It says this guide belongs to, and it says pack your backpack, and it has a checklist with all the things that come in here. And then it says today's hike, where I went, to the woods or the mountains, beach or the park, what the weather was, what I saw, and different things that they can use a pencil and check off and erase later. Or you can even use a wet erase marker, which is basically a dry erase marker, but you have to actually use something moist to get it off. We use wet wipes when we do that. So there's that. And then it comes with a little pretend sunscreen. And then it has a pretend play wooden granola bar, which actually has nutrition facts on the back, which is very cute. And then the last thing in this backpack that we have is a hiking first aid kit. And in it, it came with a pretend Band-Aid that actually has, on the reverse side, it has Velcro, and then, you know, a part that would be mimicking the Band-Aid, so it can actually be stuck together. And then it has pretend gauze, and then it has a pretend wipe. And inside, if you open it, it really does open, and it doesn't have a wipe in it. It has a very thick, like, piece of felt that you can mimic being a wipe, but you can use it, you know, actually more accurately pretend play with it. Now, the one thing that we don't have that broke are binoculars. So the very last thing that I'm going to share with you is the Let's Explore Campfire S'mores playset. And we are going to do a little unboxing because I haven't opened it yet. And again, this is from Melissa and Doug as well. So the first thing that I see that it comes with is this, it is plastic. It's very thick, very durable feeling, but it's supposed to look like a campfire, and it does have Velcro in the middle, which I imagine is for this fire, or there's like a fire pit version. So here's what the fire looks like. I will probably cut off the tag, but I won't in this video, but it sticks on here, so then that makes it stand upright. Okay, so the next thing that I just took out was a log, and I believe you can use the pretend play saw, maybe, to kind of saw through it. It is Velcro, and it does break apart into 4 pieces, so you can sort of put it, you know, along here to look like wood. So on one side of the marshmallow, it is the white side, and then on the other side, okay, it does come off. I didn't want to break it. So it has Velcro here, and then on the other side of the marshmallow, if you turn it inside out, then it has the cooked marshmallow version or whatnot. So you can just kind of stick it on there. And then we have this bag that was inside, which is really nice. A lot of their toys have this. You saw that in the fishing game as well. but everything should fit in here nicely. Let's see what's in here. So we have a box of graham crackers. This is very thick cardboard, so hopefully this will hold up for a while. Oh, okay, cute. So it has these graham cracker pieces that can stick together to mimic a full graham cracker, and then you can, you know, break them apart. And then the marshmallow would go in the middle. And so that sticks to one side. And then let's see, box of chocolate. So there's another piece. And so then there's your s'more that is stuck together through Velcro. But yeah, it makes a cute little s'more, which is adorable. And then it also comes with, it comes with a little bag that you can put your marshmallows in, and it says Fluffy Puffy Marshmallows, 2 jumbo treats. And it really does open, so you can put your marshmallows in there. That's adorable. And then it comes with how to build the perfect campfire and s'mores. So campfire, basics. And it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 steps. And so it shows you through pictures how to build the perfect campfire. And it does the same thing with the s'mores. So that is so cute. My kids are going to absolutely go crazy over this. So I'm glad I picked this up. This was, I believe, like $24.99 at Target. And so yeah, that is all of the things that we have for this unit, and this is going to cover the next 2 weeks. So the next video that I do in this series is going to be our next unit. So I will just kind of spill the beans a little bit. The 4 units that we're doing this summer for summer camp include the first one that you just saw, camping out. We also have a unit on pirates. We have a unit on the beach and ocean. And then we also have a unit on ice cream. And we have a few special things that we're gonna do for those. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will get the next videos out as soon as I can. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I would love to hear questions and feedback in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Bye!